Hi everybody, it's Nikki here, and say it with me. It's Bookgammon time. Yes, it is that time of the month where I play my TBR game Bookgammon, which is based on the board game Backgammon to help me pick my upcoming month's TBR. Today I'm going to be playing for July, so I hope you'll join me, but let's put her down before she gets noisy. No, let's put her down because you know she gets noisy. Can you tell I've not done this for a while? Okay, so starting off with some bookkeeping as always. The last time you saw me was back in May. Let me go back to my notes. So back in May, I believe that during the gameplay, our first turn around only got us 2 prompts. Even I knew I could probably manage more than that, even though I was struggling with my mental health at the time. So I went round the board a second time and we got a further 3 prompts. So we had 5 prompts to give us books to read. Now I can tell you that I read 3 out of the 5 books. So the first book that I didn't read was for the prompt book or recommended by a friend, and for that I had picked Empire of the Vampire. Now by Jay Kristoff. I did not get to that. I just wasn't in the mood for it at the end of the day, so yeah, I did not read that one. And then the second book I did not get to was for a second person narrative, and I believe that was the ebook Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I just didn't read it, unfortunately. I did read some other books besides the other 3 books that were on my TBR. So I did read a total of 6 books, I believe, in May, but 3 of those were from my Bookgammon TBR, and 3 were other books that I just mood read at the time. Obviously, because of my mental health, I had to pick up what was good for me at the time. Now in June, you didn't get a Bookgammon from me, unfortunately. My mental health didn't pick up at the end of May like it has done in previous years. I don't know why, but this year it just kicked my butt harder than normal. So I continued to struggle with my mental health in June. Therefore, you haven't had a June Bookgammon from me. So I didn't even play it for myself. And I managed to read 3 books in June. And this is why I play Bookgammon, because if I don't play Bookgammon, I don't know what to read. I don't know what to pick up, and therefore I don't pick anything up. So let's do the other piece of housekeeping, which is my bomb book and star book. So for the bomb book, which is a book that I am a little bit anxious to read, a little bit nervous. It could be the size of it, it could be the genre of it, it could be something that has sat on my shelves for a long time and I just keep skimming over it in lieu of other books, or it could just be that it's the start of a big series like this one. This is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I have a box set of these. I think it's only the first 5 books, I believe, in the series. And she's a chonker. Now, this is a bomb book, not just because of its size. It is, this edition, 780 pages, but also because I don't know if, because I've watched the show, whether I'm going to enjoy the books or not. Sometimes, if I've seen the show first, I don't always enjoy the books. And I know that as a reader, I should always say that the books are better, but it depends on which order I've consumed the contents, if you know what I mean. So if I've read the book first and then seen the show, then normally, yes, the book is better. But if I've seen the show first and then read the books don't always live up to what I've seen. So yes, this is why it is a bomb book, and if I land on my bomb token, or we get the bomb token, then I will be reading this one. For the star token, I am going to continue my read of Tad Williams' Shadow March series. I am up to the third book now, Shadow Rise. This one is a lot smaller than the others, or it seems a lot smaller. It's only 554 pages, whereas the first two books I think have been in their 600s. I believe this was meant to be a trilogy, but the third book was so big that they had to break it up into two books. So I think that's why this one is slightly smaller, because the fourth book is another chonker. But I am enjoying this series. I don't think it's one I will keep after I finish reading it, but I am enjoying it. This is kind of epic fantasy, lots of individual stories happening with different characters, but they're all building up to something a bit like Lord of the Rings, you know, where everyone's on their own little journey, but eventually it's going to end up in one big epic battle. I can only assume. So yeah, I am on to the third book, Shadow Rise. If I land on my star token, then I will be reading this. So all of the housekeeping done, let's roll to gameplay and see what Bookgammon has in store for me this month. And I hope you play along with me too. Okay, so here we are on gameplay. Let's give our prompt cards a shuffle. You can tell I haven't done this for a while. Yep, that'll do. I'll put them here. These are our game pieces. So let's place the star book first. So let's randomly select a space. Number 2, so we are on the green piece here. I hope you can see that. And our bomb book token, space 14, so 6, 12. So we're on the blue space at the back here. So our first roll, a 2 and a 4. So we'll go with the dark piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't get the star token because the total was 6, not 2. So that's why I didn't get the star book. So we landed on the yellow prompt. So the prompt is author isn't British. So we want any other nationality apart from a British author. Roll number 2. It's a double. So we have to go back a total of 5. Only the number on the dice, not the total, remember? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not completely off the board. We have to read a red prompt. And the red prompt is a blind pick. So I think for this one, I will close my eyes and just point anywhere on my shelves and grab a book. If it is a book in a series and I have not read up to that particular book, then I will pick the book of the series that I'm up to, if that makes sense. So there we go. Roll number 3. A 6 and a 1, so 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is another yellow prompt. And the prompt for this is complete a series. Now this could mean I have to read the last book in a series if I've already read the first few books in the series and I only have one left. Or it could be that I have 2 or more books left in the series and I have to complete it. So this prompt could include more than one book. Let's see what I have on my shelves. Roll number 4. Ooh, 11. 6 and a 5 makes 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Another yellow space. Can you see that? Another yellow space. Okay, so the prompt for this one is a Japanese setting. Our 5th roll could be our last. And it is. So we've got 6 and 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're home. So just 4 prompts for today's gameplay. But we did not land on the star or the bomb book. So let's flip a coin and see which one we're going to pick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is heads for star book and tails for bomb book. Here we go. Flipping the coin. And it's tails, which means we get the bomb book. Thanks, Bookgammon. So that is gameplay over for another month. So that was it. I feel like she was kind of nice, but we got a lot of yellows. We got a lot of yellow prompts, which if you remember back when Bookgammon used to be genre based and each colour was a specific genre, my yellows were my mangas and graphic novels. So a lot of the prompts were written specifically to pick mangas. So yeah. So that's why we got a lot of like not English, Japanese setting and all of those sorts of prompts. So yes, little throwback there. So our first roll landed us on a yellow, and the prompt for that is author isn't British. So there was a couple of books that I was like, are they British? I don't know if they're British. Are they British? I'm not quite sure. And without a quick Google search, I didn't know quite what to pick. But then I thought, Holly Black. Holly Black is not British. So I believe she's American. So I have The Darkest Parts of the Forest. Now, I don't believe that this is part of her Cruel Prince series or in that same world. I'm not sure. It does say fairies, knights, princes and true love. Think you know how the story goes, think again. So I don't know if this is going to be in the same world as the Cruel Prince and her other series. There's the Tithe, what is it? I don't know. It looks like this was written before the Cruel Prince series, because when it's in on the first page where it says also by Holly Black, it only mentions The Coldest Girl in Coal Town and then the White Cat, Red Glove and Black Heart series. So I think this might have been written before the Cruel Prince. So I don't know what this is about, truthfully, but it's Holly Black. I do love Holly Black's writing. Very simplistic, very simple kind of fantasy for me. So yeah, this should be quite an easy read. For roll number 2, we got a red prompt, and the prompt for this was a blind pick. And I said in the gameplay footage that basically I would just look at my shelves and close my eyes and randomly pick one. However, when I got to thinking about it, I thought, I know pretty much where all my books are. I don't know how I know this, but I'm one of those people that my bookshelves might look a mess, but I know where each and every book is, kind of thing. So instead of me blind picking, I asked my husband to blind pick for me, and he picked out The Dance Tree by Kieran Millward Hargrave. Now, I've read quite a few of her books and I have thoroughly enjoyed all of them. There hasn't been one that I thought, maybe not. This one has beautiful edges, can you see? And I don't know if it's got a special front cover. No, it doesn't. But this one says Strasbourg 1518, A blistering hot summer, lone woman begins to dance in the city square. She dances for days without pause or rest, and she's joined by hundreds of others. The authorities declare an emergency. Musicians will be brought in to play the devil out of these women. Now, I have read recently Kira Millwood Hargrave's The Mercies, which had a bit of like witchcraft, sort of Salem trials kind of vibe to it, and I'm wondering if this is very similar too. I believe it is based on a true story of the dancing disease that I believe happened in medieval times, or in historical times. So I might have to look up what this is based on, and yeah, and hopefully thoroughly enjoy it. Oh, I'm popular today. Our third roll landed us on another yellow, and the prompt for this was complete a series. And again, in gameplay, I said that this could be that I read the last book in a series if I'm up to it, or if I have more than one book left in the series, I may end up having to read 2 or more books. However, I was very lucky to remember at the very last minute, because the ones I was thinking of, I was going to have to read at least 2 books minimum. But I did remember at the last minute that I have the Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. Olivia Blake. Wow, my tongue did not get around that name very well. This is the third and final book in the Atlas series, the Atlas 6 trilogy, and it has been sat on my shelves ever since I purchased it. I have not got round to it. This is a trilogy that blows my mind. I don't have the brain capacity for this, I think. I think this book is way too clever for my simple mind. It boggles me, but I'm intrigued by the characters. I'm intrigued by how these characters are developing through the story. So all the sciencey, stuffy stuff is blowing my mind. It kind of goes woo over my head. But I would like to see how this story ends and how these characters get through what has been happening in books 1 and 2. So this will finish the Atlas 6 trilogy for me, so I only have the 1 book to read for this prompt. And our last roll got us another yellow, and it is a Japanese setting. Now, I'm not sure if this is Japanese or Chinese or Korean, but it is definitely Asian setting, and that's what I meant by Japanese setting. I should have written Asian setting. Please forgive my ignorance as to how I'm not sure on the difference. Obviously, geography is different, but my geography's not that great. What I'm trying to say is, I picked Last Violent Call by Chloe Gong. This is actually a bind-up of 2 novellas. And this is 2 novellas surrounding the events of Foul Lady Fortune and following a familiar cast of characters from These Violent Delights. So you have In a Foul Thing and In This Foul Murder. I have read Foul Lady Fortune, but I have not read These Violent Delights. I do own it. I got it from Fairy Loot, but not realizing that they were linked, I read Foul Lady Fortune first. So I kind of slightly spoilt myself for These Violent Delights. So maybe I should have picked that over this one, but this one is tiny. And we know what's coming next. So I needed something that was going to be quick, easy for me to get read. Because the last book on my Bookgammon TBR, we did not land on either the star token or the bomb token. So we flipped a coin for it. We say we, I mean I flipped a coin for it. And I landed on the bottom book. So yeah, I'm going to be reading this month. To be honest, I kind of do want to try and get this started, because if I do end up DNFing it, I can DNF the whole box set. But if I do end up enjoying it, then I know I can keep the box set. So it's a good thing. It is a good thing. I know that when I finish my Shadow March series from Tad Williams, I know I'm going to unhaul that when I've finished. So, you know, I know I'm going to enjoy that. But I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this or not. So, it's the bomb book, guys, for the month of July. So, my TBR for July is... It's just a stack of 5 books, but oh my goodness. So we have The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, The Dance Tree by Kieran Millward Hargrave, The Atlas Complex by Oliver Blake, Last Violent Call by Chloe Gong, and Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. That is my July TBR. Scared. So what books have you picked? If you are playing along, please let me know in the comment section below this video. All of the details for this project pan, it's not a project pan, Nicola, this is a TBR video. All the information for this TBR game is in the description box below the video, so please do check that out before you leave. I hope you will subscribe to my channel. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and if you have, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.